Hi, this is Jason Hodge of Medical Fitness Pros, and I'd like to give you some tips on back pain. I know a lot of people suffer with back pain, and it's exhausting, mentally exhausting, physically exhausting. And I'll give you some ideas of things you can do in order to actually improve it and get past the back pain. Number one, when you're doing any kind of exercise, you don't want to cause inflammation or irritation. So if you're trying to exercise and work out, if you're pushing it to the point where you're causing pain, you're overdoing it. You need to make sure the exercises you're doing are going to be strengthening and supporting the rest of the body without actually causing any kind of pain throughout the way. This isn't something you push through. This isn't no pain, no gain. This is trying to make sure that you do things in a way that's going to strengthen and support your body without causing inflammation. Working the core is something that you hear a lot about, and it's great to work abdominals and it's great to do all that, and it can definitely be beneficial as long as you're doing it correctly. The most important thing you can do when it comes to abdominal exercises is make sure that you have a good, strong core support of the body. And what I mean by that is, it's your body's ability to move through a range of motion without your back flexing and extending. So when you go to get into a position for an exercise for the back, and you're doing abdominal exercises, make sure that you have a really supported core by tightening up your abdominals and not allowing the back to move as you do the exercises. The third thing I would say is, when you're trying to do exercises, try to focus on the basic motions you do in everyday life. And what I mean by that is pushing, pulling, lifting, carrying. We find that most things we do has to do with pushing things, pulling things, lifting things, or carrying things. If you can do that, you're going to be well on your way to going throughout the day without having any kind of pain. Another aspect of things is that you build up your endurance. I find that a lot of people have back pain not because they lifted something too heavy, but because they fatigued and pushed themselves a little bit too much because they were tired. So we know to lift with our legs, but when you start getting tired, it's hard to keep going. So what ends up happening is you start using your back more because you're tired, which ends up causing your back to have pain, flare up, inflammation, and the whole pain issue again. Also, your legs are going to need to be very strong. Make sure you're using them a lot. If your legs aren't there and your legs aren't strong enough, you will use your back more to lift things. So in any good strength training program for someone with back pain, it's important that you're strengthening your legs so that you can handle everything you deal with in everyday life. One other tip: anytime you're developing a program, it's important that you're involving flexibility and strength training. Yoga is great for flexibility, but you also need to make sure that you're strengthening the body to give it support. If you start stretching things too much and you create instability in the joints, you actually could end up with worse pain instead of a relief from pain. So it's very important when you're doing your program, your workout program, that you're involving aspects of flexibility on the tight muscles and tight joints, and strengthening of the muscles that are a little bit weaker in order to give it that overall balance and the muscle tension that you need to give the back support. You've only got, by doing one thing more than the other, you can actually tighten things up more and end up in more pain than where you began with. If you're having back pain, you have any questions at all, please let me know. I've dealt with back pain before myself, and I've worked with hundreds of people that have back pain, and I know how hard and how miserable it can be. But you can reach us at 281-500-6055 or on our website, medicalfitnesspros.com. I'm Jason Hodge, and like I said, if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know.